guys, Joel here, Police 10-8 Talk, back with
Officer Bosco.
Back with you today on a really hot, humid day at Fort Wilson.
Oh yeah.
What we're going to do today is, it's been done to death already, but we've got a Glock 42. You know, Glock's kind of mini caliber, subcompact. This one we've done some changes to it. It actually belongs to a very good friend of ours who's dealing with post-polio. So it's given him some challenges with manipulation and hand strength. So we're going to go over a couple of little things that we've done to this handgun to try and make it more usable for him. So give us just a sec. We'll be right back. Hey guys, back with you here at the ever faithful tailgate. We've got a Glock 42 for you today. It's chambered in 380, about the smallest caliber you'd want to go to with a self-defense gun. It's got an overall length with the slide closed of 5.94. The overall width of it is 0.94. Height of it is 4.13. Weight on it unloaded is 13.7 ounces. It came with a 6.5 pound trigger. It no longer has that. It has a 6+1 capacity. No longer has that either. Glock has been making 380s for quite a number of years. They had the Model 25 and I believe the 28 that couldn't be imported due to the point system ATF awards guns when they're imported into the country. So this is by no means their first foray into the world of 380. Been a lot of speculation as to why they introduced a single stack 380 before they did the single stack 9 or a single stack 40, and most people are in agreement that 380 is more of a worldwide caliber. There's actually bunches and bunches of countries where a 9mm is considered a military round and civilians aren't allowed to have it. On this particular one, as you can see, we've added a cocking handle to the rear of it. This particular cocking handle is made with the rear slide cover. It's all metal. Reason we did this is with our friend having some manipulation problems with his hands. He can either grab it this way and work the slide, or if need be, he could catch it on his wheelchair, side of a table, boot heel, belt, whatever. Another thing we did on this one is it was a 6.5 pound trigger originally. We put a ghost connector in it to take it quite a bit further down. Haven't officially measured it with a trigger weight scale yet. Another thing he did was, because he can't really contort himself into what we call our regular shooting positions, be it Weaver or Isosceles or whatever, we also put a Crimson Trace laser on it with the activation button down here, so anytime you get a good firing grip on it, the laser is activated. This one we've already shot, so we know that the laser's pretty much spot on. That's just a few of the little modifications we've done to it, trying to make it into something more usable for him. Very pro Second Amendment, very pro police, just all around heck of a good guy. Just to try and give you some idea, my weapon's clear. Here's the 42 on the bottom, 43 on the top. And if we take them and turn them, you can see there is a slight difference in the overall lengths. Also gives you a good idea of the difference in the overall width of the handguns. See if we can flip it around this way, and you can see grip wise there's not a whole lot of length difference. It's just a more compact, little gentler recoiling handgun. So guys, we're going to load up a mag and shoot this thing some more. We're trying to make sure it's broken in well for our friends. So stand by and we'll be back in a minute. Guys, Joel, Police 108 Talk back with you. Got our RSR ready to ship, target set up. We're going to plink a little steel as we finish breaking in this 380 for our friend that's physically challenged. Did just shoot a mag through it, and I had 2 failures to feed. Reason behind that, if you can see, I'll step a little closer, is with this offset magazine release. When I get a full two-handed grip on it, I'm accidentally mashing the magazine release, so the mag ends up dropping out of battery about yay far. So I'm going to have to modify my grip a little bit. So here we go. And just had it happen again. You can see the magazines coming out of the mag well with 1 round left. Give us just a minute, let us reload. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Police 108 Talk. This is Officer Bosco. One thing I also want to do too is give a shout out to Ghost Inc. They did the 2+ mag adapter on this on the Glock 42. So far this is actually a mag adapter that works. It's the only problem with these things, they seem to either work or they don't. But this is a 2+ extension, like I said, made by Ghost Inc. So far it seems to be working just fine. One little trick to Glocks that I've learned over the years is what they call the infamous Glock tap. If you're having trouble getting that last round in, tap the bottom of the Glock mag like that, because sometimes the spring in there will bind up, and then you can usually get the last couple rounds in there. Just give it a little tap like that, the infamous Glock tap. Just a little note there. So anyways, give me a second. I'm going to plink off some rounds, so stand by. Going hot? Hot. Smooth fire, and as you can see, the issue that they had, being a left-hander, I'm not having that issue, but of course my grip's a little different. So anyways, just stand by. We'll give our impressions, go show the target, and stand by. Hey everyone, this is Officer Bosco. Welcome back to 108 Police Talk. As you can see from the target, from the steel target, this thing's a shooter. The recoil is extremely light on the 380. That's a lot of the reason why people go with it. The only problem with 380 is sometimes ammo availability is an issue, because sometimes you can find 380, sometimes it seems like you can't.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with the 380. That's the reason why I usually don't buy them. I stick to 9 or 40 because it's easier to get ammo. But overall, it's a winner. I mean, it's a great gun. I like the modifications. The magazine release is a problem for Officer Joel, but for me, I didn't have that issue. You know, shooting left-handed, you know, my thumb wasn't hitting it. Basically, my hand wasn't.
Yeah, and if like this gun, like I was telling you earlier, we've kind of customized it towards a friend of ours who's going through post-polio syndrome. He won't be able to acquire a good shooting hand grip with it, so the mag release will be a 0 issue.
Yeah, he's mostly probably going to be shooting one-handed, so it's not going to be much of an issue for him. But it definitely, I'd have to say, I like the stock trigger, the stock magazine release better. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one either, even though it really didn't affect me as much.
A little too far back on the grip.
Yeah, but overall, I like it. It's a shooter. I mean, there's definitely no doubt about that. It's a really great shooting gun. Recoil's about non-existent. Trigger, I'd say, is probably about 4.5, maybe 5-ish, give or take.
It's about 4.
But overall, I enjoy it. And like I said, the 2+ mag extension works, and it works well, which is nice.
Just one thing we did notice. First, give our little shout out to RSR targets for This is the way to go, guys. If you want to shoot still, give them a look. One thing we did want to point out with this one, our friend spends a lot of time in a wheelchair, so if he has to use it, it's going to be kind of a, hey, get off of me kind of gun. So we put a Crimson Trace laser on it, but one thing we did notice is it will not show up on the black background of this steel target. We've both used lasers throughout our careers. I've never noticed it not showing up on a black background. Barely detectable on his black t-shirt, so that's just for your information. Keep that in mind. If you're using a laser and your black target or black background, just beware that you may not see your laser.
Yeah, because that's one thing we noticed. I mean, there was one time when Joel was shooting it, I did notice the laser sight, but it was barely noticeable. But for some reason, when you're shooting it on the all-black target, it's basically you can't even see it. I mean, it's not existent. Which, like I said, I've never noticed that before.
I had
with another laser. I'm not saying it's Crimson Trace, but I got a feeling it's because it's a solid black target. It's absorbing the laser, so that's something you might want to keep in mind as well.
So, guys, all in all, I initially wasn't a fan of 380, but after having fired this, soft recoil, camera person, had no problem shooting it as well. So guys, give us a like or subscribe, and Bosco,
remember to be safe and watch your six.